Hi everyone, delonewolf here. Welcome to Jita and welcome to EVE Talk, your weekly look at the markets in EVE Online. Now I do have some good news for Co-Incorporated because our two friends from Minecraft are also going to give EVE Online a try normally this weekend. So yeah, we'll see if we can actually get them hooked on EVE Online, and yeah, we'll see if they'll actually keep playing the game further along. They are on their trial periods right now. At least I know one of them is, so we'll see how that works out. Might also be some content that will be made around the experience of trying to get them into the game as well. But we are here for the market today, and let me quickly grab something to write for the annotations, and we will start at 55 seconds here with plex. So 55, and what's this looking like? 615 for the buyers, 628 for the sellers. That's pretty much the same as last week, so I do think it's going to be a flat. Yep, here we go. You can see 20-day moving average pretty flat here at the end. Let's go for the 1 month chart. You can see flattening out just above the 630 for 20-day moving average, and the 5-day moving average hovering at around the 625 mark. So it's been a little bit below that during last week, but it's already picked back up, and now actually here on the data points you can see that there's actually some downtrending going on as well. Extremely high honestly for plexus, and very hard to say what they are going to do because CCP has been able to maintain the hype quite nicely. If you look at this chart, we are actually looking at least the second half of the yearly decline from last year, and we're still at the highest point plexus have been in a year. So yeah, when will the decline happen? I don't know. We do get a lot of new players into the game here, which will only increase demand even further. So it's very hard to say at what point or if plex are actually going to correct back below the 600 million mark or something that would make it invest worthy until the next winter expansion, just because of how good EVE Online has actually been doing with the big nullsec fights and all those new players coming in. CCP being able to keep the hype up as well quite nicely. Then we'll have the tournament next. Then we'll have fan fests. We'll know more about the summer expansion if they make that a very nice one. Yeah, we could actually see pretty high plexus throughout the entire year, and look out for the corrections, because if they come they might be pretty sharp. But if they continue to, if it continues to stay like this, well, I don't know what I'm gonna do if I'm actually going to invest in plex. We'll have to wait and see a little bit. At least it's flat now and not still going up, which it's actually been doing after the expansion, which is a little bit surprising and counter to what we've seen in the last few years. Next up, we'll go for minerals. So let's grab the 1 month titanium chart here. 310 is what I'll put down, 3 minutes and 10 seconds. And on the 1 month chart, yeah, still up a little bit, definitely heading towards the 5.10 ISK price point. Here we do see right at the end of January a nice big jump up. It's corrected a little bit back, but the 20-day moving average still trending quite upwards. So I do suspect we're seeing a lot more demand than supply at the moment, and we are, look at that, 1 billion of them being sold 3 minutes ago, just like 2-3 minutes ago, for 5.13 ISK. So this is actually going to bump this up even higher once again. This is going to be like another floor. On the sell order side, it's pretty timid below 523. Look at that, very small orders trying to, probably some new players trying to unload a little bit of their mining right away for a certain price. But yeah, it's looking actually like titanium is going to go up. At the moment there is way more demand than supply. Let's see if it's also the case for pyrite. Up for the month, although it is correcting back a little bit. So let's have a look at supply demand here. Pretty big order of 77 million at 1282. On the demand side though, look at that, 260,000 being bought at 1263. I would not be surprised if this actually starts to take back, to go back up pretty soon, although the prices are a little bit lower here, 1263, 1282, which is at this point right here. So yeah, the chart will correct a little bit, but I do still see more demand than supply for pyrite. So longer term, medium term, I would say that we might see higher prices for pyrite yet. pretty interesting. Let's go for Mixalon next. Definitely went up for the entire month. It's just stalling here at the end, but reaching 49.5 ISK, and now probably hovering at around the 49 ISK band. Yep, here we go. 48.75, 49.93, that's right around 49 ISK. Demand definitely here again, 2 minutes ago, 100 million of them being bought at 48.75 in competition with all the other buy orders, which are not insignificant. And the biggest sell order I'm seeing here is of 24 million units. So yeah, definitely more demand than supply in minerals. Is this all due to the huge battle where Super Capital and Titan losses have to be recouped by big alliances? It is possible. It might just be more activity as well, you know, more players, meaning more Tech 1 chips being bought and lost as well. And god damn it, someone called me, but I'm recording at the moment. So yeah, Mixalon definitely also going up, just like Tritanium and Pyrite. There is more demand than supply here. Next up, Isogen, still a high SIC one as well. Let's have a look at that chart. Up a little bit for the month, going from, I would say, close to 125 towards 128, so it's not as pronounced. It did try in the last few weeks to go towards 129, maybe in 130 on some data points, but it should be a bit more balanced here, although, well, a bit more balanced, I say that, but I see here 3 minutes ago 16 million of them being bought here, 14.5 million, 27 million. All of these orders are pretty recent. You see nothing like that in volume on the sell order side, so I do suspect that there is more demand than supply in Isogen as well, and this price could actually start going up if this trend, if this competition in the buy orders keeps happening. So yeah, for the high SIC minerals, for the high SIC miners, that's some good news. They're getting more ISK per hour that they spend mining. Let's have a look at some of the null SIC ones, some of the rare minerals like Noxium. Up from 700 to 715 for the month, so there is an uptrend here as well. A little bit of a correction after a spike to 725, but I think that's to be expected. Sometimes it just goes up a little bit too quickly, but you're still seeing sell orders here coming in at 717, which is pretty high on the chart, and way bigger demand here again. Look at that, very recent ones here. 4.5 million, 2 million being bought. You don't see anything like that up until 718 ISK in the sell order side of things, and you see even bigger orders here, 10 million of them being bought, 5.7 million of them being bought. So yeah, more demand than Noxium. I'm seeing it here as well. Pretty interesting how it's all been translated into all the other ones as well. Next up, Zydrine. Uptrend for the month is pretty obvious, from 710 to 750 even, so I think that is normal. That is correcting a little bit back towards the 730 medium, and prices 733, 736, 88 million right here. That's going to be a serious floor that needs to be broken on the buy order side, except other than this huge buy order, which is actually pretty damn recent, we're not seeing such an imbalanced situation in supply demand for Zydrine. So it could be that this will stall even a little bit longer, you know, that this will actually go a little bit more sideways, but it will not go extremely low all of a sudden just because of this huge buy order. There's a lot of demand here. Surprisingly enough, it's in the solar system but not in the station, so that could actually make it a little bit of a false floor, just because some people will only sell to the station itself, and thus some of the other stuff might actually get picked up here as well. And then if you look at the situation, it's less imbalanced than the other ones. Next up, Megasite. Uptrend in the last 2 weeks, quite severe actually, going from 1580 to 1680. 100 ISK added in a few weeks is not insignificant, so we are probably seeing way more demand than supply. Yep, look at that, 9 million of them being bought, 1.4 million of them being bought. Very recent order. Almost the entire page here are recent orders in competition with one another, going from 1658 all the way up to 1662, so it's pretty obvious that the competition is really happening here. We are seeing it as well on the sell order side, but they are much smaller quantities than the buy orders. So yeah, more demand than supply, higher prices across the board so far for for the minerals, and Morphite is the one exception apparently. That one went up for the month, but it's actually correcting right back to the 7,300 mark. Keep in mind though that Morphite is often dictated by the sell orders, and let me quickly see here, a lot of demand here. Look at that, all of these are pretty recent orders. They're just not in bigger numbers, in bigger quantity than the supply side, and so this is really going to be dictating the price. And there is actually, well, a little competition coming in here, almost 1 million units of them being sold on recent orders. So yeah, probably looking at a sideways movement, just because people are almost forced to buy their Morphite from sell orders. And although there is some competition, it's not too drastic yet. People are apparently happy with 7,340 ISK or something like that for Morphite, which is right around here. So this will probably start moving sideways here with a little bit of a correction in the 20-day moving average. But yeah, overall picture for minerals, way more demand than supply. So we're moving on to the Tech 1 chips now. I'm writing down 1110. And this one is going to be interesting to see if it's actually activity of new players that is also driving the demand increase as well. And I think if you look at the Drake here, that's already a pretty good indication. It's something you can fly relatively quickly. If you started at the expansion, you're probably looking at the possibility of flying a Drake by now. And we are seeing a higher price here, 44.5 to 47.5 million, 3 million. Yeah, 6-7% increase, not nothing. Let's have a look here at the Maelstrom, a little less, but still up for the month. This is of course not something a newbie is going to fly right away. Omen up quite significantly though, so yeah, this could be an indication. Let's have a look at the Rock, up as well. And then the Talos up a little bit, but not too much. Okay, it's pretty interesting, so I'm quickly going to jump in on some smaller Tech 1 ship. I am curious, let's say some cruisers, that stuff that's really fast to train for. And maybe if here we see a general uptrend, look at that, we definitely see here for the Arbitrator, Augur going up as well, Mauler went up for the month, Omen, like we've seen before, up. Let's go for Kaldari, the most popular race normally. Oop, that one is actually down for the Blackbird. Caracal up significantly though, and that's one of those typical noob ships, very good for some level 2 missions, maybe even a level 3 if you know what you're doing. A very popular ship. Moa went up pretty significantly as well, and then the Osprey up as well. Let's have a quick look at the Galente ones, it's my race after all. Celestis up, but yeah, Thorax, look at that, very nice jump here from 10 million all the way up to 12 million. So that's something like 20% in just a few weeks up. Pretty, yeah, not insignificant. Vexor going from 10 million to a high of 12.5 million. That's something like 25% increase. And these are of course two ships that again for new players are very useful, especially the Vexor with the drones, very versatile, something that a new player will want to go for and use for a foreseeable amount of time. Definitely up, so I am seeing increased demand for Tech 1 smaller ships at the moment, probably due to all the new players coming into the game. Very interesting stuff. So yeah, increased demand for Tech 1 ships as well, in my opinion. Tech 2 ships, I'm writing down 1340. This is where the trades action happens in my opinion. And we'll see less action, obviously. Not a lot of new players will be going for Tech 2 ships. So the Absolution is actually pretty flat, not too much action here. Astarte going down, I'm going to go on a 6-month chart to see where it's at. Ooh, that's actually very low, look at that, breaking 200 million, even on the sell orders. That's very low. If you look at a 6-month chart, maybe even a 1-year chart, heading towards a 1-year low here. You do see it came close to 190. But this could be a time to start maybe investing a little bit in Astartes, especially if you can pick them up on buy orders. Let's have a look at the Claymore chart here. I'll do a 1-month one just to see what the action has been. Definitely low as well, but you can see right here in the last few days picking back up. So it is possible, of course, if you can still have some buy orders below 200 million. Try and get them now, but I do, well, actually here 45 of them coming in at 210, which is where on the chart? Right here. Yeah, actually, yes, it's probably going to start going back up. It's a pretty big number though, so a little bit risky maybe to try and go for the Claymore at this point. Damnation, that one went up quite nicely. Look at that, 215 to 250, 45 million per ship in just a few weeks. It's correcting right back, but it shows that there was some opportunity in the Damnation. EOS pretty much flat, so be careful. Then I would look at the full picture here. Okay, pretty much at the summer price, so I don't know, I wouldn't go for it. Guardian is often pretty interesting. Look at these big spikes on the Guardian, they're lovely, going back down towards the 155 mark, is that correct? Yeah, 158. Yeah, maybe on buy orders some Guardians could actually be a good investment, I think. Look at how volatile it's been already since the summer. Significant spikes here of 10, 15 to 20 million even on a 150 million ship. Is not bad, you know, 10% is not bad, especially if it's in just a few days. Let's have a quick look at the Nighthawk chart, correcting a little bit. You maybe investing the tail end. You can see it's picking back up again, so maybe if you can still pick some up. Sleipnir definitely going down. Yeah, you might if you think that that there will be a selling opportunity, which if you look at these spikes there probably will be. Maybe some Sleipnirs could be good. And then finally the Vulture here. All of these are the command ship classes. That's a little bit dangerous. It's just not volatile enough, the Vulture chart, for me to try and invest in that. Next up, Tech 3 ships, and I'm putting down 1640 for Tech 3 ships. We will go back to the 1 month chart. It's really a question, is this oversupply situation for Tech 3 ships over? And I think here 141 for a Legion, I really don't think so. 155, 20, 34, 10. Look at the buy orders, 1, 2, 1, sometimes 5 or 6 for 136 million. So no, still way more supply than demand here. Let's have a look at the Loki. 15, 20, 11, 10 at 137. Someone just put a sell order of 10 Lokis in for 137 million. So this is definitely trending down once again. And yeah, it's just not changing at the moment. Way more supply than demand here again. On the Proteus market, you can see it here again. Look at that, 136 million ISK on the chart for Tech 3 ships. Extremely low, extremely low. If you plan to use some, if at some point you say, yeah, a Tech 3 in a wormhole, that's something I want to do, think about buying them, because they are extremely low and oversupplied at the moment, and there is no telling how long this situation is going to last. I'll quickly touch on the nano ribbons, but these are pretty much in the same situation. I guess wormhole space is becoming full, I would say. You know, people are in balance there. They can bring the supply to the market efficiently. No huge wars or anything like that to report on that front. And thus there is just an oversupply of wormhole space stuff, like Tech 3 ships, like melted nano ribbons, and so they are all very low prices at the moment. So yeah, not too good for Tech 3 producers. Of course, if you like to fly some of these, it's definitely the time to buy some. And then we'll put down 1830 for the extra item. And for today I'm going to take a look at POSes. Just out of a personal interest, because I found something interesting on my main during some exploration. So let's see if I can find it. Starbase structures, control towers. Here we go. So we'll have a quick look here at the small ones. Let's have a quick look here. Amar one's picking up. The Galente one is where I'm really interested, going down towards 67 million for a Galente control tower. Okay, let's have a quick look at the trends here. Down, sideways to down, I would say, still on 20-day moving average for the Galente control towers. Caldari up significantly on medium and small. So I would say, yeah, maybe new players, new bosses being bought for Caldari, a very popular race. We're seeing the same thing for the Amar ones. So it just could be more people again starting to want to put up their own bosses. Let's have a look at the Minmatar one. Yeah, less popular, of course, and so a little bit more flat. So most action, I would say, at the moment: Amar control tower, Caldari control tower, Galente and Minmatar not so popular, so down a little bit. But why did I want to check this one? I found the BPC for a faction tower. So we're remembering 67 million for a Galente tower, which is a part of what I need for... The one I found is a Serpentis one. Serpentis small control tower. What's that looking like? Ooh, 210 million ISK for a Serpentis control tower, which you need a small Galente control tower to produce, but 67 million is probably the biggest material. 210 million ISK for the Serpentis control tower. That's another awesome BPC to find in a data site, which I did. I found a BPC for one of these Serpentis control towers. We're looking at least 100 million ISK in profit out of that. Awesome news for me, of course. And yep, it's also why I wanted to check the control towers for this episode on the extra unit stuff that I try and do now at the end of Eve Talk. And yeah, the action does seem to be in Kaldari and Mar control towers. Apparently they're a bit more popular than the Galente and the Minmatar ones at the moment. But yep, there you go, guys. That's it for this Eve Talk. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.